If you're not an electrician or don't feel comfortable working with electricity, maybe you should call a professional. I got an old style light here. It's pretty nice, pretty old too. And my customer wants me to replace it with this. So this is the idea. I'm gonna have that there, this here. So first things first, I'm gonna take the bulb off, or the globe. So I unscrew these, unscrew that, and there's another one on the other side. And then I take it off, and then I'm gonna unscrew these, and I'll show you guys, but I only have one hand to work with, so I managed to get the globe off. See, there's 3 screws, and this is a lip. See, if you ever install one of these lights, then be careful not to over tighten it, because you will crack it. And some of them are, they're just there. You can't screw them in or screw them out, and you can just twist it on and you twist it off. So be careful, because if you don't know what you're doing, always try to twist it off first, and you might crack it. So take your time. And in this case, the electric's on, but I'm just going to turn off the switch, because there's other lights around here, and I'm not trying to work in the dark, so it's easier just to turn off the switch than to turn off the breaker. So next I'm going to take off these screws up here. Right here, I'm going to turn off the light like that. So there. Oh, one side doesn't have a screw, huh? So let me get my flathead screwdriver and do that, and I'll show you guys how to unwire it and wire it back up. I'm trying to get to this screw, but it's in there, I can't unless I have a sideways screwdriver, and most of the time there's always a way. So I started unscrewing the base on the base, and it's coming unscrewed, so this will help me take more room. So, and besides, I don't think she really wants this anymore, so at least I can get better leverage here and possibly get that screw out. What they have here is whites are always together, and then you have black. But see, this black is continuous power. So if you don't know how to do electric, and you see something like this, don't mess with it. Just be honest and say you don't know how to do it. But see right here, this is continuous power. And this is where the light comes in. Right here. This is continuous power going to here, and then this is going to the switch up there. It's a little confusing, but I have another video that maybe makes that a little less confusing. I don't know, because like some of these wiring, there's all kinds, they're changing it around to make you so you have to go to school again, but this is pretty simple. You have the bare wires, the ground. So you hook the ground up to this, hook the hot up to the hot that's already here, and hook the white up to the white that's already here. And this is continuous going somewhere, so you don't have to mess with that. So this is the light she wants me to install. Now every box, electrical box, has holes, so it kind of got me confused because these holes. So I'm going to use this hole and this hole. And then in case it's further apart, it's this hole and this hole, as you can see. But first, I need to figure out how to get this globe off. So I'm trying to twist it, but it's not working. Somehow it's got to be released somewhere. And you can see how it's twisty right there. So it was a pain in the butt to get off, but what I did was I looked for the indentions on the inside, right? And I put both my hands on either side and kind of squeezed to kind of wiggle it loose. Not too hard to crack it, but just to wiggle it loose. And it started to wiggle loose. And I went to the other point of pressure, and then I started wiggling that, and it was a twisty. You know, you can tell if it's a twisty. You see the little indentions right there, and that's the indention right there. You can just tell. See how this is just like, and there's a stopper, and sometimes it's so tight it clicks. So you just kind of need to wiggle at it, and you know, like anything, if you wiggle at it enough and you know, just mess with it lightly, you know, you don't have to get frustrated. Just mess with it. I mean, sometimes it never comes, but you never know. You know, it's better than just breaking it and then you're crap out of luck. So I gotta find some screws, because I don't think it came with screws to go in these holes. So let me do that and screw it up, and I'll show you guys the finished product after I show you guys how to wire it up. So it's hot somewhere because I just got electrocuted a little bit, and it felt like a bunch of little bee stings. But I'm gonna be careful, and I'm gonna try to wire this up. You know, I'll show you guys after I do it. I put the little wire in the wire nut first, and then I twist it. So it makes it easier. Now we got a light. You know, it's pretty simple. You just hook the white with all the whites. Keep all the whites together all the time. And that's not the case for the blacks. But whatever wire the black comes out of, for the light you put it back with the black, and same for the ground. Pretty simple, you know. And then I'm just gonna put it back up, stuff it back up there, screw it in, and then put the globe back on. All right, so there you have it. Just carefully put the globe on. And there you go. This is my next job. I'm changing this light to this light. Something so simple can make all the difference, and it just looks a lot better. And I'm going to show you guys step by step how to do that. First, I'm going to loosen these knots right here. So you got to be careful. I unscrewed both of them. You got to be careful though, because there was another one that I did, and a black wasp came out. You know, and you don't want to get attacked, because when you feel threatened, they will attack you. So I was lucky, there was only one inside, but you know, this one has the same thing, see? It's a wasp's nest. So you gotta be careful, because if you're not, and especially if you're allergic, it'll sting the crap out of you. So in this case, it's the same, white, black. It's pretty simple, you know, wire nuts. Normally, I'll tape the wire nuts off, but I haven't been, because most of the time I've been doing work, nobody has them taped off anyway.
but it's good practice. You know, I know. But I don't. So this one's going to be a little bit harder than the one that I did upstairs, just because I have to hold it up in the air while I'm twisting the wires together. Unless I can figure out a way to do it, but this is in my way. So I might just lean it up against the wall, close the ladder up and lean it up against the wall so I can at least rest it on the ladder to twist everything together like I did before. So I got the base up, and as you can see, there's holes right there, and those go through the holes, and I have little nuts if it ever focuses. I'll show you in a minute. I gotta wire it up. You know, black with the black, white with the white, bare ground with the bare ground, and then I'll show you guys the finished product. I have the wires right here, and how I do it is because this is solid, so what I do is I kind of put this wire in the nut first, all the way to the deep end, like that, and then as you push the nut on, it levels itself out. That way you don't have to waste time twisting it. You know, because if you look inside of one of these nuts, it's a screw. So you put the soft thing first, and then you twist it onto this hard bit. And see, I'm tugging on the white, and that's snug, it's not coming out. It's easy, you save time. And you know, time is money. Same thing with this. You know, I wish I could hold it and show you, but you get the idea. You stick this inside the nut first. You stick it inside the nut first, the soft one, inside the nut first, and then you put it on the hard wire, and then you screw it, and it all binds up together like it's supposed to. Just when you wire things up the way you're supposed to, just make sure you give it a nice tug, just to make sure all the wires are snug and not loose, because even though the ground's hooked up, you can always create a fire. But this is the finished product. So that little bit, easy work, makes this whole yard look a little bit better. And this is our patio, so here's once she cleans it up, you know, put a nice table out here, finish fixing up the deck, you know, it'll be nice. Here's the light that I'm installing. It's a regular dome light, is LED. They're nice because they're brighter and the light's more clear. And this is the dome. And this particular one comes with an option to change the ring. So that's nice. If you have your walls are a different color, maybe your couch is another color, you can change out this ring. But in this particular case, she wants to keep this ring because of her ceilings, you know, have the gray. And this is an old style light, but this is pretty much the same concept. You unscrew that hole to take off the dome and everything drops. And I'll show you what I mean. Right here, it has the locking lip and the screws, pretty simple. So what I'll do is unscrew that, unscrew them 2 screws inside, and this drops, and I'll just put the other one up. Quick and simple.
and it makes all the difference in the room. And here I'm still using the Hercules. You know, it's proven to be a good gun. My DeWalt's still tucked away just in case I need it as an emergency, but it's brushless. It moves just like a Milwaukee. It's nice and smooth too. See, my even the DeWalt, you know, sparks right there, and sometimes a spark will fly out and it scared the crap out of me because they could take my eye out. So I decided to use this. Light's the same, but it's nice. Like every other light, it gave me some difficulties, but as you can see, I got the dome off and they see it was locked. You just had me to try it, move it around, turn it over, try it that way, you know, turn it this way, try it that way, just wiggle at it. But see, the light is nice, and LEDs will last a long time, longer than that light bulb would last. They tend to burn out, they're lead. And this is a different type of LED. I think it's called LED, but I can't be sure. These guys can look that up. But I'm gonna turn it off, the light switch right here, you know, and then I'm gonna wire it up. See, this doesn't have a box, and that's not supposed to be like that. So I'm gonna say something to the lady, you know, because that's illegal. It has to have a box. You know, the wires have to be. In this case, I'm gonna tape off the wire nuts for her, you know, just so no dust or nothing goes inside of the wire nuts and it makes a spark, and that's gonna start a fire. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tape it off. There's nothing I can do now because it's all out. I know about it. You know, I'm just gonna put it back up there anyway, so you know, at least I'm gonna make her aware of the situation, and maybe she'll change it later, maybe she won't. So pretty much I won't show you guys me taping it, but you just throw some tape around it. Look, I'll put some tape up here, you know, just so I could know which wire. Well, actually this tape was already here because they didn't have the ground hooked up, but I hooked up the ground, so if anything ever happens, it is grounded, so that's a plus. So what I'm gonna do is tape it and then just tuck the wires back up over here, and you see the little slice where the wires, and then he has it just screwed in, so it's kind of rigged. So I'm just gonna rig it up and then I'll show you guys to complete it. So here we have it. So this is plastic, so I'm gonna put that right there like that. Oh, smack. So the problem I had with this was, as you could see, the screws were spun one way, so you would spin it one way to lock it in, and then the globe you would spin it another way to lock it in, and it would come unlocked. But I managed to hold the base, and this just kind of clicks in, so that's the piece you can change. But there you have it, something simple. You can change the whole look of the room, you know. And when they paint this, and she puts a little chair right there, you know, it's gonna make it nice. You know, them lights don't get hot. They don't get as hot as other lights, and that's why they don't burn out as fast.